You're not going to believe what's trending in skincare in 2025. Some of the most hyped products, they're getting replaced. And the new ingredients taking over, they sound crazy until you see their results. Before you spend another dollar on your routine, let's talk about what actually works and what's just marketing hype. Skincare in 2025 is bringing some of the biggest changes we've seen in years. From high-tech solutions to old ingredients making a comeback, the way we take care of our skin is evolving. Today, my co-host and I, Elise Markowitz, are going to be talking about our favorite trends in 2025. Elise, what are your thoughts here?
Hi, Andrea. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Excited to be back. I think for 2025, my favorite skincare trends are anything that does double duty, any products that do double duty,
Yeah.
or are easy to put into my skincare routine. If I could have one product that helped me wash my face, tone my face, moisturize my face, I would invest in it, not only buy it, I would do whatever it took to have it. I am extremely lazy when it comes to skincare, so that would be my dream.
Yeah, I'm honestly pretty lazy too when it comes to my skincare because I'm so tired at night that I just want everything done at once. So anything that's gonna remove my makeup and cleanse, I'm all for that. But you're right, we're seeing a lot of demand for double duty products, minimizing our routines. Nobody has the energy to follow like a 12-step routine morning and night. So there's definitely that trend of two in ones, three in ones, really
Yeah,
packing a punch for each product.
yeah, yeah, and if you think about it today, there's so many, like you just said, products that do a million different things. So it's like vitamin C that also has retinol, that also has moisturizers that are also going to repair your skin barrier. And I think people they want something that's going to work smarter and not have them work as hard. So
I think for brand owners, this is really important because it used to be that you would come out with like a 6 SKU skincare regimen when you're launching your brand. And now there's such a focus on, okay, I'm going to make it 3 max 4 SKUs with one hero product that does 2 or 3 things. And so I think that brands are also changing in the way that they launch their products and they launch their brands. They're just trying to take in this minimalistic trend.
yeah. Yeah, I love it. I love where it's going. I remember back in the day working on a brand that had dozens and dozens of skincare SKUs. And then at the same time, it was around the time Drunk Elephant was coming out, and they had such a curated and short, small assortment. And we're like, okay, I think there's something here because it really resonates with people and they want those just heavy hitters and not, like this cute little toner that maybe is going to do something, but it smells really good.
Right.
So, yeah.
And I'm seeing this also with not just the number of products, but also like the number of ingredients in each product. So we as manufacturers actually were aware of this trend that it was going to come, the less is more, smaller ingredient decks, but I don't think that the chemistry was there quite yet. And I think now we've really caught up and there are solutions where you can get ingredients that do a lot. And so you can shorten your ingredient deck quite a bit. And so it's like these more refined, cleaner, succinct ingredient decks per product that's also trending.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a really good point because I think that the consumer and skincare brands knew what they wanted to do, but then we got into this kind of messy, literally messy situation with having all these ingredients. And so now we're kind of catching up with the science and making these products not only efficacious, but, good for the environment and all of the things that consumers want these days. So that's really interesting.
There are also a number of ingredients that are really trending now. And I think the number one that I've been seeing is beef tallow in skincare. Have you seen this?
I have not, and I am a little scared, so I wanna hear about it. I mean, I'm open to putting whatever it takes on my skin. What are you putting beef tallow in these days?
So we're getting requests to put beef tallow in moisturizers or actually to just have pure beef tallow as the moisturizer and then have additives in it like honey or collagen or things like that that are really good for your skin. But the whole premise is that beef tallow is super hydrating, super moisturizing. It's completely natural and it's it's the best thing for your skin. I'm seeing it in sunscreens, I'm seeing it everywhere. And as formulators, it's really interesting because it's not an ingredient we've had a lot of experience working with in recent
Yeah.
years. It's very, very new. And it's kind of funny because before it was like plant-based, vegan, like cruelty-free. And of course, everything is still cruelty-free. But to see beef tallow in skincare in a world that was predominantly like, vegan, it's weird.
I was just gonna say when you were talking about that, you guys better be prepared to come up with some vegan beef tallow because you know that is what's coming next.
We need
Full
lab-grown beef tallow.
on. That is crazy. I mean, I get it. People are drinking bone broth and all of those things, which I
Yeah.
mean, there's something to it. It's definitely it has a lot of nutrients. So I would totally put some beef tallow on my
I
face.
would try it. I haven't, but I would. I don't know. I think there's like two schools of thought. It's like the plant-based vegan community, and then there's like the carnivore diet, beef tallow. Like it's just, and you're seeing skincare kind of, diverge in those two directions. You still have the vegan skincare, and then you have the now beef tallow skincare, and everything still needs to be cruelty-free, non-GMO, all natural, but it's just funny the different directions it's taking.
Yeah, it is funny, and I think it's important to note too the marketing talk or the marketing kind of ethos that goes into both of those because I always put it out there that vegan product. I think being vegan is amazing. I was vegan for as long as I could in college, and I think it's amazing and it's so healthy. It's it's great for the environment. It's all of those things. I always want people to be super educated when they're buying vegan products, that just because a product is vegan does not mean that it's necessarily healthier or doesn't have, additives or things like that for them. So I always like to caveat that because you're right, there seems to be these two big schools of thought, but I think as always, it's important to know what goes into your products, whether they're vegan or, beef tallow.
Yeah. I was vegan too, actually, for like about a year. And you really have to be smart when you're following a vegan diet. You have to know what's good for you. There's a lot of stuff that's vegan that's just not good for you. Uh,
100%.
yeah. The other thing that we're seeing that it's not a new trend for 2025, but it's still pretty strong is Korean skincare. What are your thoughts on all K beauty?
I'm obsessed with K beauty, Korean skincare. So I actually lived in Korea for a year when I was in my
Oh,
early 20s. I taught English there for a year, so I got to actually experience Korean skincare IRL before it was a trend here in the US.
yeah.
And I remember going to Innisfree, and I had never heard of it. This is over 10 years ago now, and it was just these little shops in Korea. And I'm like, okay, sure, like I'll try some of these awesome skincare products. And I mean, Korea is amazing in a lot of different ways, and I think their science and their innovation in skincare is just, the tip of the iceberg, and so I'm excited that it's kind of going mainstream, and I think probably K-dramas was a big part of that because you see these beautiful actresses with this perfect skin, and you're just wondering what they're doing to stay
Right.
young, so, yeah, really excited about it, here for it, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think it's not going anywhere, and they bring in a lot of innovation, which is really cool. Really, really like interesting products, interesting ways of dispensing product, new ingredients. So happy to kind of see how it plays out in 2025, what else they could bring to the table.
Yeah, yeah, same.
What else are you seeing kind of trending for 2025?
One that was not on my bingo card, but maybe it should have been, was hormone balancing skincare,
Oh yeah.
which I think, is becoming a big thing across all industries, food, and of course, anything you put on your skin goes into your body. Have you guys been seeing this?
Yes, yes, in a very big way. So fragrances, synthetic fragrances are a big no-no now because they wreak havoc on hormones. So a lot of requests to replace fragrances with essential oils or with other natural alternatives. And so there's a lot of innovation there in terms of how do we get our products to smell good and not like chemicals without synthetic fragrances. That's a big one. And yeah, any ingredient that has any sort of disruption to your hormone balance, we're definitely seeing a request for that research to be done.
That's awesome. I love that. And what about the skin barrier? Talk to me about skin barrier because I feel like my skin barrier is decimated at this point.
Yeah.
Really, is it? I don't know, but all these brands are telling me that I need to protect my skin barrier, so it's, like, top of mind now, and I think I'm seeing it across so many more products. It's, like, on the label, protects the skin barrier, repairs the skin barrier. Have you guys been seeing that as well?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of talk about skin barrier, and I think there's a lot of truth to it. Look, the environment that we're in, there's so many pollutants in the air, and there's, we're just walking past somebody who's, let's say, you're going through secondhand smoke or a construction site, or in LA, the fires that we had, the air isn't as clean, and there's so many stressors on our skin. And if you're not following a good diet, or you're not sleeping well, or you're not using good products, of course that's going to also weaken your skin barrier from the inside out. So there's definitely a need to protect your skin barrier and to work with products that are going to strengthen it and protect it. But I do
Mhm.
also think it's a little bit of a marketing play, because like when people are afraid that, oh my gosh, my skin barrier is decimated and I need to protect it, you're going to buy into these products a little bit more. So I would take it with a grain of salt. And like I would
Mm,
say, if your skin is doing something it shouldn't be doing, if it's super dry, flaky, irritated, yes, something's probably up. But if your skin is like glowing and healthy and fine and you feel hydrated, then I wouldn't worry too much about your skin barrier.
yeah, that makes total sense. I always give into a fear tactic, so it definitely works on me.
You're in good company. Most of us do.
Um, and I think also this kind of brings up another point, which is preventative skincare. I think this is something huge right now. People are starting their skincare regimens younger and younger. I know my 9-year-old niece has a 5-step skincare routine. Um, and she has great skin. So I'm wondering, like, is this something that we're going to be seeing in the future? Are we going to keep getting younger and younger? Like, do I need to get my 5-year-old on a regimen? Do you
Right.
think it's as important as people are making it to start earlier and earlier in skincare, or do you think this is a marketing ploy to kind of, get these Gen Alphas in there shopping?
Definitely both. I think it's so important to teach, young kids about good skin hygiene habits, like washing with soap, washing your hands, washing your face, taking care of your skin, eating healthy things to, make sure that your body is strong. I think that setting up those uh, building blocks will really help later on, especially as they get into adolescence and are probably dealing with things like acne, and our skin is overreactive. I think it's a good thing to do to introduce them early. And I remember years ago, people would say to me, "Oh, I want to create a kids skincare line to teach like good skincare habits." I think it's genius. But there's
Mm,
also definitely a marketing tactic behind it, because the second you get a kid walking Sephora, before they're like a preteen, and then that just really foreshadows what's going to happen in teen years and as a young adult. So I think that it needs to be done very carefully.
mm,
I think that focusing on healthy habits and the health of your skin is great, but not to become over obsessive, because it can lead you down a rabbit hole. And even like with food, introducing your kid to healthy food, but not making it like certain foods are a taboo, or not making it something that they're going to be obsessing over. There needs to be boundaries around it, but definitely something that I think is important.
I love that. I think it's super smart comparing it to just good hygiene habits overall, but not going overboard.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Some worked great and others not so much. Elise, tell me about a trend that you've tried in the past that you ended up loving versus one that you ended up hating.
These are a little bit different, I think, than most people's, or maybe everybody is secretly like this. So, I had an esthetician one time tell me that my skin was dry, and so I should not wash it in the morning. I should just write it out, only wash my skin at night. And people think this is disgusting. I still do that. I do not wash my face in the morning. I just put on an SPF and a moisturizer, maybe makeup. I only wash it at night. I know I've disgusted people before by bringing that up. It works for me. My skin feels a lot more balanced, so I'm gonna keep writing with it. So that is one that works
Hold
for
on.
me.
I have to tell you that I do that too. I
That's
really do.
great.
I don't wash my face in the morning. I wash it at night. I don't wash it with water in the morning because it
I
dries me
feel
out.
so seen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The number of estheticians who have been disgusted by me, I
Oh,
I feel so judged. I feel like this is a safe space.
Yes, very safe. I don't know many other people who do that, but I have really dry skin. Like I have combination skin, so my skin gets very dry in certain areas. And if I wash my
Yeah.
face, it makes it that much more like dry. So I just, yeah, it's a really great
Oh,
secret.
okay, so that's the secret. Everybody can have that one for free.
Yes.
And one that did not work for me, a skin trend that I don't even think it's a trend. I think it's legitimately like proven and a lot of people do it and it works for them is retinol. I
Mm,
cannot use retinol. My skin just never gets past the 2-week phase. It's like a 2-year phase where I just look disastrous. So, and you know what? Probably because I don't wash my skin in the morning, so I don't get it off from the night before. So it's just also a habitual thing that doesn't work for me.
right,
So
right.
those are my dirty secrets.
Yeah, retinol has to be like super compatible with the skin type that's using it. Otherwise, just also people don't realize that retinol thins out your skin over time. So
Mm,
if you use retinol constantly, it's a great anti-aging product. It's tried and true, it works, but
yeah,
years and years and years of using retinol will thin out the layers of your skin.
yeah.
So something to be mindful of. Okay, I'm trying to think of some trends. I'm not like that experimental. I'm very like cleanse my skin, take off my makeup, cleanse my skin, put on a moisturizer, seal it up with oils, and then done. Um,
I love that for you.
I have a hair trend, not a face trend.
It's great.
I thought that it would be really cool to like have auburn hair for some reason. I didn't want like red hair, but I wanted auburn hair and I was too scared to actually like go and dye it professionally. So I did
Yeah.
it in the sink and I did it horribly and then I had streaks of my natural hair color with streaks of auburn all over my hair and then you obviously have to like wait 2 weeks to have it wash out and that's how I walked around for 2 weeks and my hair was like 2 different colors in all the wrong places, and it wasn't a good look for me, so
Why were you afraid to go to a professional, but
I
you were not
don't
afraid
know.
to dye
I
yourself?
don't know. Like, in hindsight, I probably should have trusted a professional to do that experiment, but I just thought that, like, "I got this. I could do this on
Yeah.
my own," and, no, I didn't got this at all, and I never did it again, so
Love that. I think we've all been there with the interesting hair colors. I mean, my hair looks dark now because I dye it. I am almost fully gray. We go gray really early in my family because I'm obviously 17 years old. So I have to keep dyeing it. But okay, skincare trends. I feel like I've done so many, and I just want people to know that it's okay, whatever they've tried. I will say, in lieu of retinol, Botox, okay, we have to talk about that, has been amazing for my skin. Not only does it help with the fine lines and wrinkles, again, I'm 17, so I don't have those, but if I ever did get Botox, it also helps my skin, kind of like consistency. I'm gonna say the word wrong. The way that my skin looks, it just like kind of gives it like a much better vibe altogether. So I know that's controversial and expensive, but
Yeah,
highly recommend.
I mean, there's a lot about Botox, like, starting it early and doing micro Botox to prevent those fine lines and wrinkles from coming in, but for sure, once they've set in, a lot of people turn to Botox because it's quickly effective. I mean, you do have to keep doing it to see lasting results. My only problem with Botox is, well, it's not my only problem, but the one thing, like, at least for me, is I'm in a phase of my life where I'm either pregnant or nursing, and so when you have those
Mhm.
phases where you can't do Botox, you need some other alternatives. So I've
Yeah.
actually started trying this trend of, taping. I don't know if you've seen this or heard of this, but there's a product called Frownies, and now there's a bunch more of products coming out, like different brands, but it's basically a sticker that you put on your forehead, around your eyes, or wherever, like around your mouth, wherever you're seeing wrinkles, and it creates a cast on your skin
Mhm.
so that while you're sleeping, you're not like creasing your skin. And it's supposed to kind of just like lift the muscle out of the wrinkle. I don't know the science behind it exactly, but also prevent future wrinkles. So I've experimented with that. It hurts like hell taking it off in the morning. I don't enjoy that part. And it's like a little uncomfortable to sleep with. But,
Yeah.
kind of excited to see how that's gonna work, and I think that there is a school of people kind of moving away from Botox and trying more natural methods, so we'll see how that goes.
No, I mean, and probably as they should. am like hooked now because it's just, you see yourself as you're coming like out of it. I remember because same as you, I am slightly older, so I'm not pregnant or nursing right now.
Right.
But I did stopped obviously while I was pregnant and nursing with Botox, and by the time I was done nursing, I just looked at the pictures of before when I had Botox, and it was really hard not to set up an appointment after looking at the old picture.
I know.
So I'm like, the two are they're a little different, and I
Yeah.
just prefer the first one. So it is hard because once you start, it is very difficult to stop.
To go
So
back.
I think, yeah, aging gracefully is totally a thing, and I'm gonna get there at some
Yes.
point.
Yes. As someone who's in product development and been in the industry for so many years, I feel like I've tried every product under the sun, and I'm always like looking to experiment with new products. But I think I finally found skincare routines that work well for my skin. I'm curious, do you have your skincare routine down? What are products that you really swear by?
Yeah, I am constantly changing my skincare routine. I have ADHD a little bit when it comes to skincare. I mean, since we're both in this space, we're constantly exposed to these new products that you want to try. Beef tallow is now next on my list. So and as we know, I only wash my face at night. So usually, I mean, Bioderma is my like tried and true, like holy grail product. I take off my makeup with it. I think it also gives you a nice, soft cleanse. I just got into Revision, the papaya enzyme cleanser, and I love it. I feel like it really cleanses, but it also isn't too tough on my skin barrier. And I love to mix it up with different serums. So I kind of mix it up between like a niacinamide, some B5s, some amino acids. I just kind of like to do a few different things during the week, and then I'll throw on a moisturizer.
Yeah.
So kind of basic, like as my skin has also changed, like before and after I had kids, and then as I'm getting older, it changes. It feels like week to week, so I kind of just have to write it out. And also seasonally, my skin is so dry in the winter time, so we're kind of coming out of that now.
Yeah.
But I was wondering about your skincare routine, Andrea.
Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty lazy when it comes to skincare. So I don't have like a 10-step routine. I use a milk cleanser. I don't do well with gel cleansers for some reason. I feel like it really strips my skin of its natural oils. And milk cleansers are a little more hydrating. So I use a milk cleanser from this brand called Pharma Skincare, actually. And it has a lot of vitamins. It's just really nice, hydrating, gentle. And then I'll actually follow up with a toner. And then I'll use a rich cream with apple fruit stem cells or hyaluronic acid. And then after, like right before I go to sleep, I'll put it on an oil. So I'm either doing organic rosehip oil or like a facial oil blend. But for the most part, I just try to stick to single ingredient oils. I seal that up and then that's it. And then like we mentioned, don't wash it in the morning. I'll apply a moisturizer in the morning and then my makeup. And that's how I go about my skincare routine. And then I think like once or twice a week when I'm in the shower, I'll do like an exfoliation, like a very gentle, mild scrub. There's a scrub that I love with papaya enzyme from Dermatouch, and I use that one. And that's it. That's my
I'll have to
routine.
try that
Yeah.
one. I love that. I feel like too, as I've become older, skincare has become a bigger geography of my body. So it's like my space, but it's also like my scalp and like my body. So I think that I've kind of like expanded as I've gotten older in that sense.
Yeah.
Uh,
Definitely. It's not just like this focused concern on our skin, but for sure in the wintertime, my skin all over is so dry. And so I need really rich lotions and creams, anything with ceramides to, hydrate and make my skin not like beg for hydration. And then my scalp, I just started trying a castor oil. So it's an organic castor oil, and I'll put it in my scalp like everywhere once a week. And then I'll actually sleep with it and then wash my hair out in the morning. And I love the way it makes my hair feel, and it just makes my hair feel stronger and a little fuller. So I've been doing that.
I love that. That's super. I should do that. I need to do that. I feel like if I'm too lazy to even wash my face in the morning, I definitely am not going to wash my hair, but I need to get it together and do something because
It's
and I
a
also I'm scared a little bit because I diet, so then I'm like it makes me scared to put anything on my scalp that I'm not super sure about because I don't want to like end up with like a
Yeah, you have to be careful when you're dyeing your hair, what you're putting in there. You should ask your stylist about castor oil because I swear by it. It's super thick and it doesn't feel so good because it just feels like your hair is disgusting, but the effects are really nice. Like us, consumers are starting to shift towards smarter skincare. And that means leaving behind routines and gimmicky products that don't actually give us the results that we're looking for. So we're going to play a game where we vote what trends are in and what trends are out in 2025. You ready?
All right, I'm going to read off a few trends, ingredients, etc., and we're both going to vote if they are in or out for 2025.
Perfect.
The first one, and you brought this up, Andrea, beef tallow, in or out? I'm going to say in. I'm
And
going to be supportive.
thank
Okay, I'm
you.
all right. This one is easy. Korean skincare,
Definitely in.
major in. Okay. Next, collagen boosting peptides. Okay. This is easy. These are
Yeah.
good.
Collagen's so
Um,
popular.
all right. I'm going to do some that are a little more unclear
Mhm.
on whether they're in or out. What about sheet masks? I'm going to vote out as well. We both voted out.
Yeah, I'm over them. I think most
Same.
people are over them. I think we're getting a little more innovative.
I agree. Unless they're the cute ones that are like the panda face that you like tie
Right, those
behind your
those are
ears.
cute. Those are very cute.
Those stay, but anything else, no. Okay, let's do coconut oil as skincare, in or out?
I'm gonna say out.
Same.
I think that, like, it's too heavy for the skin, and we're getting more knowledgeable about oils that are good for your face versus your body. Coconut oil is great for your body, but not for skin, really. I say out.
Agreed. Out. Okay, one more for me. I'm gonna say blue light protection in skincare. So like the light that's reflecting from your phone or your computer. In or out for 2025?
I'm gonna say in for 2025, but I don't think
Okay.
it's gonna last too long. I think it's gonna
Yeah.
be out very quickly.
Okay, see, I was gonna vote out. So and I agree. I think it's kind of not a thing. It's definitely like a marketing
Yeah.
ploy. It's kind of like when, anti-pollution was really big in skincare and it was on every label. So I think this is another thing like that.
I think it's gonna have its moment, and then
Mhm.
quickly we're all gonna realize that it's not a thing. It's just
Yeah,
gonna go away soon.
I agree. You're like, "It's still the sun. The sun is still the
Exactly.
biggest thing."
Still the concern.
Exactly.
Okay, I will give you some cryotherapy skincare. In or out?
I'm gonna say in, heavy in. I
Yeah,
love
I think so too. But I just
yeah,
wonder how that's gonna play out, like,
I
in years
know.
to come. But yeah.
It's not very accessible,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You cannot, just kind of go into their cryotherapy chamber at their house and test it out.
right.
It's prohibitive still, so maybe that's a business model we can look
It could
into.
be. It could be, yeah. Okay, let's see. Overhyped vitamin C serums, in or out?
Out. I'm so over vitamin C. I know that it's like it's a thing and it's so good. I'm just okay, enough. We know
I
vitamin
know.
C.
I'm gonna say out as well because I think that vitamin C is not going anywhere. It's here to stay. But all of these serums that are like 20% vitamin C, 30%, I think we're getting smarter and we also are aware that we need other ingredients to do their
Yeah.
work as well, not just vitamin C. So yeah, I would say out. I want to talk about this one. Okay. All right. Jade rollers and I'm not gonna say it right, but gua sha overload. In
Okay.
or out?
This is really hard for me. Personally, I'm going to say out because my filler could never deal with that much rolling.
Right.
But I know that it's a good thing, and I feel like if I had started younger, maybe this is the whole thing about getting younger, then I could have kind of gua sha'd my way out of some skin issues. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm gonna say out also. I think that I've heard so many testimonials of people doing it religiously and then not seeing anything come from it. So they're just like, okay, waste of time. And I think it's gonna be out. I think it's like a great practice if you know what you're doing, but as a skincare trick to get your skin like wrinkle free, I don't really see it working. AI skin analysis, in or out?
Hmm, this is really hard. I don't know. I'm gonna have to say like both. If it's done well, then it can be in, but if it's just some kind of janky thing that a tech bro made up, I'm gonna say out because
Yeah. I agree with you. I think in from a marketing perspective, I think the big brands are really going to lean heavily into this, but I think out from a practical perspective, I think we're going to still need our estheticians and our dermatologists to take a look at our skin. Like you're going to need a human to tell you what's up and what you should be doing. So, yeah, a little bit of both.
100% agreed.
Thanks for listening today. If you like what you've seen here, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Beauty Beneath, or on LinkedIn and YouTube at Spa de Soleil. Before we wrap up, let's talk about what's coming next on Beauty Beneath. We all know skincare is more than just products. It's about confidence, identity, and how you show up in the world. And just like great skincare, a strong brand needs a great vision to truly stand out. In our next episode, we're diving into understanding your brand vision, what it means and why it's the foundation of any successful business, and how you can refine yours to create not just a product, but a brand that's truly unforgettable. Whether you're a beauty entrepreneur or a content creator, or just someone passionate about personal branding, this one's for you. Be sure to subscribe, you're not going to want to miss it. 2025 is definitely going to be an interesting year with all these new trends. Regardless of all the fads though, one thing always stays the same. Taking care of your skin should feel good. So find what works best for you, keep glowing, and we'll see you next time.